Hello and welcome back to Everything Tumbler Tutorials. My name is Rebecca Escott and I'm excited to show you today what I'm going to call a Sweetheart Dirty Pour. This is a 20-ounce tumbler from AB Designs and it's approximately 8 inches in measurement and length. So I just measured 3 inches from the top and 3 inches from the bottom. Luckily I had 2-inch width painter's tape, so once I made my markings, I taped it off. As you can see, I'm just going to use a couple of throwaways to help hold up my tumbler for the dirty pour. I'm going to use Fluid Art Ready to Pour from Deco Art. I'm going to use magenta, pink, and white. And because I do not have to add water to these, you're going to see that I'm going to mix them all in one plastic container. So I'm going to use my popsicle stick really just to shift the colors around. I'm not really stirring this. So once I'm ready, I'm going to go ahead and pour it all over the tumbler. So the most important thing with dirty pours is you want to make sure that your paint reaches all the way to what would be the rim top of the tumbler. If you see a little bit of white spots, take either a spoon or in this case that I'm using a popsicle stick to kind of guide it and make sure I haven't missed any sections of the tumbler at all. Once you're satisfied with the dirty pour, please allow this to fully dry in a safe place for 24 hours. So because of the Valentine's holiday, I actually had to wait 2 to 2.5 days before I could peel my tape. So I actually needed to break out an X-Acto knife and literally cut around the tape and the paint so that it wouldn't peel my paint up. Take your time if this happens to you. There's no need to rush. When pulling the tape, pull towards yourself and away from the tumbler. This will help from lifting your paint. So as you can see, I had a little bit of bleeds. I'm not really concerned about that because I have one of two options. Proceed, which is what I do, or you are welcome to use acrylic white paint and go ahead and paint that section in and then glitter. So to apply my glitter today, I'm just going to use Mod Podge. And I'm also going to use Unicorn from AB Designs. So it's really important when you are using Mod Podge to apply any glitters, you want to make sure that you have a nice smooth application. If you don't and it's lumpy and bumpy, it will show with the glitter. This is a very iridescent glitter, so I did need 3 coats. So just make sure you brush off the top and the bottom from the excess glitter before you seal it. I used matte clear seal. Once that dried, I went ahead and went back in for a second time for my glitter and then again for a third. You want to make sure that you seal in between. Once that's complete, you are ready to go ahead and epoxy. I'm using Quick Set from Glitter Craze for the first coat of epoxy. And never mind, there's still a little teeny tiny blue bleed. But I show you here shortly how we're going to recover that. As with any coats of epoxy, make sure you hit it with a heat torch to pop any bubbles that you may or may not be able to see. Allow this to dry for at least 2 to 3 hours depending upon your climate before moving on to the next step. So as you can see, I already started, but I wanted to save this red vinyl strip for you guys to see how I'm going to cover up that blue bleed. Take your time when applying the vinyl so it stays nice and straight. I prefer scissors when I go to snip my vinyl, but you can use that or an X-Acto knife. Now we're ready to go ahead and place the hearts. These were made with Design Space, so I had taken hearts from Design Space as well as roses that I had purchased from Etsy, and I sliced the two together, giving me roses within the hearts. And I did the print and cut method from Design Space. So now we're going to go ahead and do another coat of epoxy with Quick Set from Glitter Craze. This time I'm going to add snow caps from AB Designs. I want to thank you for watching this tutorial, and if you enjoyed it, please hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more tutorials coming soon. As with any epoxy tumblers, make sure you use the heat torch to pop any bubbles that you may or may not be able to see.